And Valentine's is a great opportunity to tell our students what is the real meaning of true love.
Ephesians 5 says to be wise and to make the most of every opportunity. And I agree. It's Valentine's when our students are feeling those flutters of insecurity. Will someone choose me to be their Valentine? This is the perfect opportunity to connect with where their emotions already are in regards to true love.
Yeah, I would agree. Our culture has a love problem in a sense. Our culture defines love as emotion. Rather than what it really is, what the biblical model is. You know, this came out when Elizabeth and I were dating. We were having a conversation driving somewhere, and in an emotional moment, I said, "I just love you so much," and only to be met with this awkward silence. And through the next difficult conversation, it came out that Elizabeth had an idea that love was more profound, more enduring, more permanent than simply something you throw out there in a dating relationship.
The Greeks have several different words for love, whereas in our culture we just have one, and we use love for pizza and coffee and a favorite outfit or a favorite movie, or for someone that we're in a committed relationship with. And to me, God is love, and if God is anything, He's a covenantal, committed love. And so choosing to use that word in a relationship meant both emotions and commitment to me.
How can we pass on this love, this love that's a choice, it's a commitment to our students? You know, 1 Corinthians 13 says that love is patient, love is kind, love does not keep record of wrongs, it does not boast, it's not envious.
It's not self-seeking.
So in 1 Corinthians 13 we see that love does stuff, it's action, it's will, it's not just the emotions we feel.
I think of that patience and kindness that you have the opportunity to treat your students with every day.
The best way to do that for your students at Valentine's Day is to live a life where you invite them into your experience, where you're walking out your experience before them, of course in age-appropriate ways.
One year, I got a call inviting me to lunch at school. Upon entering the first gate, up walked a student. "Mrs. Schmus, this is for you," with a red rose. And by the time I got to my husband's classroom, I had a dozen red roses, and there was my husband on a loudspeaker inviting me into the winter formal.
After 14 years of marriage, I'm still so in love with you.
As I began to watch as students would ask their dates to the winter formal in very creative ways. And it actually convicted me. I thought, you know, wow, if they can do this for their winter formal date, you know, what can I do for my wife?
I believe one of them took it all on video and posted on YouTube.
Yeah, it's out there somewhere. YouTube never forgets, right? It hasn't all been fun and joy for us in our marriage and in our time together. And we went through some very difficult times. We lost a son. My wife had cancer, and we had to journey through some pretty hard times. You know, I let my students in during those times and shared them about, hey, what the diagnosis and what that means and what the next steps are.
We still are closest probably to the students from those years that we went through those hard times, just opening up our life.
And it was in those times that our love was tested, and to see, you know, is this just an emotional experience, or is this an act of the will that chooses, that endures, that commits? You know, one way we love to share that kind of love in our classrooms is show videos of people that have lived that out.
Oh, definitely. Valentine's Day is a great opportunity to inspire students with stories of true love. I think of Tim Tebow and how he started proms across the country for special needs students. Talk about self-sacrificing love.
I love the movie Up, because here is an example of, you know, not only Mr. Fredrickson and Ellie and the romance that they go through, and just how meaningful that is at the beginning of the movie. But then at the end of the movie, to watch him make this choice where, okay, here's this little boy that needs a father figure, versus here's my dream of adventure that I've had my whole life. Which am I going to choose? And to watch him choose love in that situation, I think is one of the more powerful examples in our contemporary culture of what love really looks like, to be other-centered. Another teacher I know will have her students make Valentines just like many of us do, but instead of making them to the other students, she has them write them to the folks at the retirement home, and she takes them down and it gets to hand them out and see the expressions on their faces and report back to her students how much a difference that made in their lives. And you know, any way that we can get our students to be other-centered at Valentine's, I think is a win-win.
This year for Valentine's Day, we're praying that God would inspire Christian teachers across our country with unique ways to bring His love and truth into their classrooms. I can't wait to hear stories of how the Lord inspires so many of our Christian educators to share his love at Valentine's Day this year.
It's going to be fun to read, isn't it?
Yes.
All right.
Happy Valentine's.